Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You'll return a subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, if you very well know, I just got back from Memphis yesterday following the travesty of the outcome of the Tyre Nichols trial. And, you know, peace and blessings go out to the family out there. And all the supporters, man, still screaming justice for Tyre. But I got behind on my news articles. And there are a lot of news articles that I wanted to do that have been out a few days that I want to catch up with tonight a little bit. And this is the first one. And we're going to just jump right into this because a lot of people have mixed reviews about this. And rightfully so. People have, you know, mixed opinions on what's right and what's wrong. Hell, I'm no different. But one thing I believe needs to be universal is accountability. And I think that's something that's overlooked a lot in cases such as this, where people cry victim. Check this out. You see this young man up here? This young man is no longer here. May he rest in peace. His name is Rodney Hinton, 18 years old, and he made a fatal mistake that cost him his life, like a lot of young people do when they run with the wrong crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was killed by police, right? In Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out Cincinnati. On May 1st, he was killed. That was last Thursday. He was in a car, a stolen Kia SUV, with 3 other teenagers. When police got behind them, they jumped out the car. Supposedly, Mr. Rodney Hinton was running with a gun in his hand, trying to get away. When another officer who's not shown or named yet shot him down as he was fleeing and killed him. Now, this man right here that you see is his father. Some people are calling him a hero. Some people are saying what he did was messed up. And I'll leave it to you guys in the comment section. I'm going to give my honest assessment regardless. The father's name is Rodney Hinton Jr., 38 years old, 20 years older than his son. And the father naturally was upset. And basically after the next day, he went and seen the police video of his son getting gunned down, triggered him, made him upset. What did he do? Get in the car and run down this officer here who had nothing to do with it. In fact, this guy right here is not part of Cincinnati police. This guy's a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy named Larry Henderson. Ran this guy down in a vehicle and killed him on the spot. An act of vengeance, I guess. Either way, here's the story and a timeline. And a lot of people are saying this guy is crazy. They always want to throw this mental illness out and stuff like that, or temporary insanity. In my opinion, I don't think he was crazy at all. If you look at him in court when his lawyer speaks, I think that showed me everything I need to know. How about you? Take a look and I'll come back with commentary.
A homicide detective shared a new detailed timeline of Rodney Hinton Jr.'s alleged actions before crashing into Deputy Henderson. WCPO 9 News reporter Jay Shakur walks us through it.
Here's what we know right now about Rodney Hinton Jr.'s movements on Friday. A Cincinnati police detective said on May 2nd, shortly after 9:30 that morning, Rodney Hinton Jr., along with family, viewed body camera footage of a Cincinnati police officer shooting and killing his 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, the day before. Police say officers found Ryan and 3 other young men in a stolen Kia. When police arrived, the 4 men ran. Police ran after them.
And officers say Ryan had a gun, and it was pointed toward an officer who shot him twice, killing him.
The footage, which is a bit blurry at times, shows the shooting and Ryan falling to the ground. Police then say after reviewing that body cam video shortly after 10:30 a.m., Rodney leaves Cincinnati Police's Criminal Investigations Sections Unit's parking lot. Police say he left this first time upset and unable to drive. Family members describe him as agitated. Witnesses tell police he went to a couple of different locations, then returned to the parking lot around 12:40 p.m. They say Hinton came back to pick up up a car left behind, and then for a second time,
he actually left the parking lot, followed by some family members, and then a few minutes later returned to the parking lot at CIS, drove through the parking lot, and then left the parking lot again.
Now, authorities say that final exit occurred at 12:49 p.m. Just 11 minutes later, police say Hinton plowed right into Henderson, who was operating a traffic light at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods. A detective on this case claims video footage shows Hinton first stopping in a left turn lane before increasing the car's speed.
The vehicle accelerated quickly directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing.
Cincinnati police have not yet identified that officer who shot and killed Hinton's son. Prosecutors say they believe that Rodney Hinton Jr. just, quote, ran over the first officer he saw. Jay Shakur, WCPO 9 News.
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson. We believe, based on our investigation, the witnesses that we spoke to up to this point, that Hinton left our office and was traveling and came upon Deputy Hinton and made an intentional decision to drive directly at Deputy Hinton and strike him and kill him.
An Ohio man has been charged with aggravated murder after police say he struck a sheriff's deputy with a car.
There will be an order of remand with no bond.
Prosecutors say the case is linked to another killing the previous day.
This is the most unusual case.
On Thursday, a Cincinnati police officer fatally shot an armed 18-year-old as he ran from what police described as a stolen car. Authorities say Ryan Hinton was one of 4 men who were fleeing after officers found them in the car. An officer says it appeared to him that Hinton pointed a gun at him, but the officer's body camera footage does not clearly capture the moment. The officer who shot Hinton has not been publicly named. Police said they recovered a handgun they say Hinton had been carrying. It had not been fired, according to the Cincinnati police chief.
Ryan was a sweet, gentle giant. We as black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police.
Being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, so you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty.
The next day, his father, Rodney Hinton Jr., became distraught while watching police body camera footage of the killing. His family attorney told the Cincinnati Enquirer. Hours later, prosecutors allege Hinton purposefully struck and killed long-serving Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson as he was directing traffic at a commencement.
I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he was not in his right mind. And I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime under the auspices, control, and authority of a mental defect in a condition. That's what we have in this case.
Okay, guys. What do you think? Was it justifiable? Or was it just a cause and effect? Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think what he did was stupid. Honestly, I think what he did was stupid. And I'm going to tell you why. This is how I think about this. Number one, your son was 18 years old. So he was responsible for his actions. Another thing is this. Fathers do get upset when they lose their children, whether they're in their lives or not. And I don't know if he was in the young man's life. Evidently so. To where it struck him so bad that he felt as though he wanted to do something about it by just picking some random cop and doing that too. I'm not feeling that shit. Because number one, your son, like I said, was 18 years old. And I'm more than sure if you was in his life, you was telling him what to do and what not to do. They tell you, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Kids gonna make stupid mistakes. But at a young age, a lot of times, parents usually, monitor who their kids are friends with. They did when I was younger. If parents seen the vibe was off with a certain kid, they'd tell you, hey, I don't want you around that kid. I don't want you around them. So you either fix it or I'll fix it. And that means they'll come out there and tell the kid, hey, I don't want you around my kid. Kids don't want to get embarrassed. So a lot of times they usually govern themselves and straighten that out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I don't know what this situation was. But I do know from a father to a son. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't want to bring, or I was taught not to bring no craziness home, the way I got to explain myself to the big man in the house, my dad or granddad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us is like that. Some of the stuff you see kids doing right now is just crazy shit. 18 years old, what you got a gun? What you need a gun on you for? Who you around? Where I'm on sure he not the only one with the gun, with a gun on him. You in a stolen car. You wouldn't taught that when you was younger. And it's not a slap against the family, but kids do what they do. And it's like I can only get upset about so much, especially when somebody stray away from the teachings I tried to put in them to make them a positive human being to avoid pitfalls in life that I went through, i.e. prison, jail, and all that other type of stuff. What you think about it? Where's the accountability? Said he was grief-stricken and went outside. Then they said in the timeline, he left. Came back, got the car, drove around a couple of times, left. Came across Deputy Larry Henderson, was at the turn signal, looked at him, uniform enraged him, fuck this, for my son, skirt, right over there. Makes no sense. Especially as somebody that's teaching a younger version of himself how to be in life. Does he have a right to be upset? Yeah. But I mean, damn, that's some shit you don't do, because I don't know if he has other kids. Was he so messed up about one child that he ruined his freedom and responsibility to continue raising others? Or it could be anything. Children still need you. A lot of times after you're 18 years old, you know, and you stop becoming a father, and you start becoming more of a friendly figure because you've reached adulthood, and the conversations and lessons can be less stressful and more enlightened because it's a man-to-man conversation, or man to woman if you have daughters. See, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. When children, it's hard being a kid. You hate your parents and all this other stuff and this and that. But when you get older and you understand, when you start swimming in the deep waters of adulthood, that everything you went through a lot of times with them telling you no or denying you access to things that other people had your age that wasn't supposed to be exposed to, and you turn out better than those, then you really appreciate what was done for you. Either way, this whole thing is stupid. He's not crazy. He not. They showed a video where they brought him in the thing because he was all messed up. See, he's all scarred up and stuff because he crashed in that pole trying to hit the officer. So he was already dinged up. They took him in there. He was walking all messed up. I guess he had a concussion or a headache or whatever. They was asking him questions. You got any pacemakers? You on any type of drugs? You got any type of mental illness? Do you take medication or anything? He like, nah. But the lawyer come in there with a defense. Oh, he may be crazy. Yeah, well, it's a difference between being street crazy, careless crazy, and then mentally diagnosed as crazy, if that's the word, or mentally ill. That guy's not mentally ill. When the lawyer was talking, you seen him? Then he walked out and said something about the officer's gone forever. Then he said something about him. I guess I'm gone forever. You ruined your freedom. Your son just lost his life, and the next day you lost your freedom, and thus robbed a lot of people that cared about you and wisdom that you had. You robbed them of their further development because of your own selfishness and sadness that you let overtake you. That's all I got to say about it. And it's fucked up because it's a guy that had nothing to do with it. A deputy in a different department dead because you were mad at an officer over here. It makes no sense to me. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's not like the police placed the gun on him. Ain't like they placed your son in that car. Chances and choices. You know what I'm saying? You can give the best teachings as a parent sometime and had a worse damn children. Trust me, I know. I've been through that before. See you in the next video. Take care.